Ready? Okay. Okay, let's start the new album.
Yeah.
You've gone into professional mode.
Yeah.
What were you trying, what were you most aiming to achieve, creatively speaking, lyric and music, when you went into recording?
I wanted a fucking album you could go and sit at McDonald's and listen to the album and go, yeah, 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 like that. Like, you know, bleh, gobble it down and go, yeah, and then go run around and just do whatever you wanted to do, feeling better than you did before. You know, I did not want an album where you had to, like, call up and make a reservation and talk to a maitre d' and put on a little white shirt or something. I just wanted a nice kind of
peppy record.
Punchy rep. Yeah, peppy. Yeah. Yeah, and because I wanted to feel peppy when I did it. And every day before I went in to record, I took one CD with me, and it was the James Brown Star Time set. And I'd listen to the guy, are you ready for Star Time? The man who brought you. And I would start feeling, yeah, I am fucking James Brown, you know, and I'd get all hyped up and then go in there and just try to kill. And that was the idea, except for I wanted to have like a classic rock album. I wanted 2 good ballads on it, but good ones. And that was basically the idea, you know.
Okay, Tom Wilson?
Yeah.
Your choice?
Yeah, I picked Tom because when that Offspring record came out, it came out the same, I listened to it about the same time as Slash's Snake Pit album, and it just kicked the shit out of Slash's album brutally, you know, and then I started playing it against other albums and kicked the shit out of everybody else too, and I listened to it and I realized this album did not cost much money or take much time. It was an analog, cheap fucking album, and it doesn't sound produced, but when you listen, it has been produced very cleverly, and the song comes across, but it's mainly the drums. The fucking drums are right up there, like bong, 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 but without sounding wrong. So I thought, this guy could do it, you know? And then I met him, and he wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like a committee meeting. He was just this kind of shy, fucked up guy who was like, you know, hated having a meeting as much as I did. And it was just like, well, you know, are you going to do the record with me or not? You know, and I said, yeah, I want to do it. You know, it was like that, you know. You know, it wasn't like, well, let's see, you know, if Soundgarden and Aerosmith don't ask me to do it, then maybe I could squeeze you in. You know, he wasn't like that. It was just like, he's a freak. He's a freaky old man who, like, lives in the Redwoods. He's a hippie. And he never got anywhere as a producer, so nobody would let him produce. He used to engineer like Seals and Crofts records. He's really talented, technically, and he was like doing shit like TV mixes on the Joan Rivers show. But to be a producer, he started producing punk bands, and that because they were the only ones that would let him produce, and the entire budget would be like $500, and he wouldn't even get paid. And then he had this hit with the Offspring, and he sold 8 million fucking units. And so now all the American companies are kissing his ass, and they asked him to do Aerosmith, and he said, sorry, no time. You know, and I really like that, right? And he just doing what he fucking wants to do, and he liked my music. I sent him a tape, and he liked it, and just did it because he wanted to fucking do it. And then after me, he went right back to doing these weird punk bands. You know?
Okay, well, 2 songs that I was half expecting on the record which didn't appear was, one of the Edwin Collins songs, the rumor had it that you recorded with Offspring, yes or no?
No, there was, what happened was some management types asked me to do it, and they started pressuring Tom and pressuring me to do it. And I listened to the song, I said, God, it's a really good song, it's already great, why should I cover it? Why should I ruin it, you know? But no, I never.
The second song is, a Kurt Cobain song, one of the last that he wrote.
I ain't doing no fucking Kurt Cobain song. I would never do that. It's so sleazy and tacky the way the entire American rock establishment has just vultured onto this guy's fucking body, you know? Oh, let's write a song about Kurt Cobain with the Angels. Or, yeah, let's write a poem about what I would have said to Kurt Cobain if I wasn't too busy talking to my accountant, you know? fuck that, you know? Or
But he gave you the song. I mean,
no,
it's like
no. What happened was this. Kurt called. I used to go to their gigs, Nirvana's gigs, before they were Nirvana. I liked them, and he used to see me there, and we were kind of like, bye, you know, both the same way, like, bye, how you doing? That was that, and he called me up one night, and I wasn't home. He left a message on my service and said, you know, this is Kurt. Listen, let's get into the studio and jam and play, right? And I called him back, but whenever I called him back, he was sleeping. Or they'd say like, well, Mr. Cobain has put his bed in the hallway or something, you know what I mean? It was like that. I called him twice, you know, and that was enough. Because I wasn't going to be like certain people who like fax him, you know, well, I faxed you, you know, what I think, here's a poetic idea of mine that I'd like to really just glom on your youth and suck it out of you. I didn't feel that way. I just I want to be accepted for my fucking own fucking music. If I'm not, everybody can kiss my fucking ass.
okay.
Right? And so basically then enter Courtney. Ta-da! And Courtney said, like, you know, I went to see a Lemonheads gig and I met Courtney there. And I liked Courtney, and she said, well, Kurt wrote a song for you and it's real hitty and everything, and I want to give it to you, you know? So I said, great, send me the tape, I'll listen to it. And then she was on MTV, suddenly it was, well, there's a Kurt song and I might give it to Iggy, or I might give it to, you know, it's like the fucking Merry Widow here, you know? And I wasn't interested at that point.
Yeah, that's where we're coming out with business.
So, I mean, you know, and she's fine, I really like her, I mean, I'd fuck her, you know? But, you know, no, I didn't want to do it.
So let's go back on the record with the Stooges here. Do you think, let's ask a good question about it. Do you think there's anything that you can achieve with the Ashton Brothers that you haven't achieved already, or you achieved back in 69, 70?
I think the long shot is, yeah, if I'd made a record with the Stooge guys, it would have to be a record that would probably make everybody who liked the Stooges would probably want to break the record. That would be the idea. What? This isn't the Stooges. This doesn't sound like fucking no fun. Where's the boom, 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 boom? You know, it'd have to be a fucked up scream from the hell that they're living in. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know? Like that. That's what I would go for. I would try to get a really fucked up record. And there are certain things, I have a feeling, you know, like all people, I'm a creature of who I'm with, who I'm around.
With the Stooges, you're talking about, when you work now, you are the boss.
Yeah.
These are the riffs, you play them. With the Ashton Boys, you're talking about delicate, your ego is the responsibility.
Well, but I was always the boss in that band anyway. It's just that they were very bad employees. They were very bad, you know. The only difference would be that with them I would split, the money would be equal. That's the difference. The money would be equal. And which would probably make me so fucking crazy right off. Just change that one thing and you've changed everything.
What about a bass player? Would it be two guitars?
The bass player would be Gary Rasmussen, who is one of the gang from Detroit that's been through everything, you know.
Did your decision to even think about doing this have anything to do with Fred Smith dying?
No.
The whole Detroit.
The two things that made me think about doing it is, one, Scott Ashton. You know, I taught this guy to drum when he was 14 years old. He has a big heart. I always thought he was a terrific guy, and he would come to me and say, well, gee, Pop, couldn't you play like with us sometime? You know, and I would have to feel like, hey, fuck off. I'm sorry, I'm big time now, you know? And that feels shitty.
Yeah.
And then the thing that really triggered it was Rick Rubin. The possibility to work with a very good producer, which the Stooges never really had. Oddly enough, once I started thinking about it more, my next thought was, who the fuck needs Rick Rubin? Fuck him, you know? Iggy Pop, that's who should produce, you know, yeah, right, so I don't know, you know.
So the Stooges...
It's just like a lot of things with me, it just came, no, they were apparently they were either nominated or on a nominee list, but the insider scuttlebutt that I got was, the Stooges will never be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But Iggy, if you're good,
yeah.
if you're a good boy and play your cards right, then in the year like 2003, when I've had my 25 years, then we'll think about you, you know. But I don't want to be in it. All I wanted to do in the Hall of Fame is what I already did, was I played their concert.
You keep their eyes?
Yeah.
I never saw it, but it was not been shown here.
Yeah.
But everyone told me you just kicked everybody else's eyes.
They had their concert, and I was given I got a chance.
And you weren't even invited. The Solar Silent Boys invited you?
Yeah.
You had them on the show and said
They didn't invite me to the last minute because of Soul Asylum. That's the only reason I got it.
Well, but that was good, you know, compared to False Skags.
Yeah, right. But then it was good to be able to show on an equal. I wanted to play with play with Dylan, play with Barry, play with Springsteen, Fogerty, and then some of the more questionable ones on an even playing field. It was fun for me.
And it worked, as far as you can, I mean...
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Okay, let's turn this thing finally to film.
Yeah.
You're doing The Crow 2?
Yeah.
You're in 2 films currently showing, and one is Dead Man, the other is a Nico.
Yeah, am I in Nico? No, I don't think so. No.
There's an old video of you and Nico.
Is in that film? You've seen it?
Lawrence has seen it. We're going to try and get it.
Is she here? Am I in that film? Nico Icon?
Yeah,
No.
it's like a video clip and
Running around in a potato field?
Cross and
Oh, really?
you're around like with a lot of makeup.
Yeah, right, white makeup. Oh, wow.
Running around
in a potato field. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Well, it's good. It finally came out. Yeah.
You enjoy Dead Man?
Yes, I think it's a really beautiful movie.
Very hypnotic.
Dead Man, that's what I thought. I really loved the movie.
And The Crow 2?
The Crow 2 is a whole other deal. It's a much much bigger part. It's a steak of parts. You know, it's a really good part.
Who's the good guy?
Vincent Perez.
Oh, there's
Yeah, the French.
Carla Bruni, his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I met Carla the other night. I'm hoping to work with. Oh, I think it's on again. I've been struggling for fucking weeks and months of my life to try to make a video with Leos Carax.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's notoriously crazy. French. Yeah, French.
Great film.
Yeah, I know. They're really good films. Really good films to make. But The Crow is, Crow is a fun, I mean, it's hard work making
He was a
movies.
bag, that's great. When I saw Dead Man, I thought for like 5 minutes he was Lance Hendrickson.
Was what?
The guy Lance Hendrickson.
Oh, you thought I was
He had
Lars.
long hair and shit.
He wrote
It's not that
He wrote the part for me, he told me, Lars's part, and he gave it to Lars. Lars got it, rightfully so. He's great in that, Lars. And he can trick shoot and ride and do all this stuff. He's really good.
Okay, last but not least, the final question. An Iggy Pop box set?
I don't know. You know, the thing about the box sets, it's like this. Rhino Records keeps proposing this giant box set. But once they do a box set, it's chopping up your albums.
Yeah, but they're still out there. They're still like soldiers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but I just can't quite bring maybe I'm afraid, like, once I get the box set, then they'll bring out the box for me, too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, box him, you know, and like,
Box them in.
you know, like that. So I'm a little afraid of it. Okay, cool, I'm done. Great. Because I got to work in the afternoon tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah, I got to I'm singing at Fanac at like 5:30.
Hello, this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a good album.
What?
It's a good album.
Thanks. I think it's okay.
It was a good review.
It's okay. It's okay. See if people vibe to it.
They'll do it here in Europe.
Rolling Stone reviewed it. They just went, he's singing about pussy. Oh no. Singing about pussy. Oh my God.
Yeah, but now you're in a good state in America. It seems so. I mean, I'm just talking.
It's a pretty good feeling.
In America, you got the respect that you never
I
had.
did a gig with Rancid and Offspring, and you know, that
You
was,
like those guys?
Rancid better than Offspring. Rancid better. They're both very professional. They're really professional the way I never was, you know, at that stage. So that's something. But they're kind
They
of.
don't have your charisma, Jim. That's the difference.
They're kind of building on something, you know what I mean? It's a little bit, you know what I mean? Reach out.
They will resent me if I don't